Peace, family. This is Coach Chris, your intuitive holistic coach, coming to do the fourth part of the childhood trauma healing series. Hope everybody is well, taking care of yourself, loving yourself, respecting yourself, and protecting yourself along your journey. Now, what we're going to go over today, I think yesterday we went over seeking professional help and then also building healthy relationships. So today, in the fourth part, we are going to go over reclaiming personal power and identity, and then reconnecting with your inner child. So we'll start with reclaiming your personal power and identity. So while you are going through your childhood trauma healing, you possibly you've lost yourself a long time ago. You lost yourself during the trauma. You never truly were able to figure out who you were or create the person that you wanted to be because of those traumas. So it's important for you to reclaim your personal power because that was lost during those traumatic events. Whatever the traumatic event was, it weakened you in a sense. It took something from you, a part of your power, or you thought that it took something from you. But now is the time for you to regain that, for you to reclaim your power, and for you to reestablish or recreate your identity. You decide who you are. You don't allow any outside influences. You don't allow the world, your parents, your family, your significant other, your children. You don't allow anything or anyone to tell you who you are to create your identity. You do that for yourself. Now, self-worth is made up of self-concept, what people think about themselves, and self-esteem is how people feel about themselves. So self-concept is what people think about themselves, and self-esteem is how people feel about themselves, and that makes up self-worth. Now, the three primary sources that strongly influence self-worth are family, school, and community. Experiences during the early stages of life primarily shape and mold the personality and behavior of children. If a child has had positive experiences, the impact of their self-worth will manifest positively. The opposite is also true for them. These traits and characteristics can carry on into adulthood if healing does not take place. And your personal power is a life force within you. It is the drive to accomplish things, the energy and commitment to create, change, or build something. It is the will to love and be loved. So, like I said before, your excuse me, family, your personal power, and your sense of identity, your self-worth, your self-concept, your self-esteem, all stem from your upbringing, your childhood, the early stages of your life. So the people who have the most influence, who of you or of these things, are your parents, your family, your community, your school, society, all of those, whatever influences, whatever energies that you have around you at those early stages of life, media, social media, at this age, TV, entertainment, books that you read, anything that you consume as a child. That's why they say the first 7 years are very important for children. And that's why I say when they're young, they're like sponges. They soak up everything. So when you have a young child, it is best for you to give them, be the person that you wish you had when you were a child. And it's hard if you know the child, if it was a surprise, you didn't plan this, and you're trying to work through your stuff while you have this child, or if you are paying bills or struggling to make ends meet, it's it's challenging to to be the best example that you can be and still juggle all those other things, because it wasn't meant for you. You shouldn't have to have done that, but that is, the life that the world that we are living in. But it's best to help them, even if you do have a lot of things going on and you're juggling things, and you didn't start out, if your child is older than 7, and just start where you can start. It's never too late. People say, my child is 7 right now and we are fixing things. He is improving on a lot of stuff. Because his younger years, I was struggling, I was juggling, I had a lot on my plate, and so a lot of things fell through the cracks, and I didn't know what I know now. And you can't punish yourself for not knowing the things that you didn't know before. I didn't know the things that I know now. He wasn't diagnosed with the autism, the ADHD. I did find out, I think, about the speech impairment at like 3 or at 4, probably at 3 or 4. I did get the diagnosis for the speech impairment. So he was doing speech therapy for that. But that took a while. And he's just now getting, like, his speech is improving vastly. It's getting so much better. But we still have a ways to go. And it takes for me to catch myself when I revert back to my old programming and get impatient and get irritable because I have a lot of things on my plate. It takes for me to do what I teach him, to take a deep breath, to calm down, to collect myself, to be present in this moment, and to speak life into him. If he doesn't get it, he's learning. Children don't come fully equipped with everything of this world. So we have to teach them. And being that we have a whole lot of other things to do, it's hard for us to, take out the time to teach them while we're still learning, to teach them while we're struggling to pay bills and make ends meet, while we're battling our own demons. But that's a part of being a parent. You have to do it. And our parents, our caregivers who came before us, maybe they didn't do it, and that's why you don't have personal power. Maybe that's why you don't have a sense of self. Your self-worth, your self-esteem is possibly low because your parents didn't do that for you. They didn't speak life into you. They didn't give you the opportunity to speak your mind, to be your own self, to figure out who you were as an individual. And that is important for you to do for yourself during your childhood trauma healing. It's important for you while you are healing to not beat up on yourself, to not say, oh, that was stupid, or I'm so dumb and stuff like that. Don't say stuff like that to yourself. That was dumb. Why did I do that? I've heard I work in insurance, and I've heard elder people say to themselves, oh, I was so dumb, or I'm so dizzy, or I'm not that smart, or I'm not that literate. And I'm just like, don't speak that way about yourself. But they're elders, you can't. But people, you don't want to get to that age and still be speaking those thoughts, still be speaking those things to yourself and having those thoughts. You don't want to do that, because you are creating your reality. You are bringing these things to fruition. It starts in the mind, and then it comes out into the 3D world. So don't speak those things to you. If that's your original programming, they were calling you stupid, dumb, using profanity against you, calling you out your name, hitting you, beating you, whatever it was that they did to tear you down, now is the time for you to release and purge those things and to restore, replenish, reaffirm yourself with affirmations. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, do some mirror work. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am beautiful, I am gorgeous, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am thriving, I am balanced, I am smart, I am intelligent, I am emotionally intelligent, I am I am driven. I am ambitious. I am successful. I am triumphant. Tell these things to yourself. I tell my son all the time, do you know that you're smart? I used to tell my nephews and my nieces, I used to just tell them out of the blue, you know you're smart. I just call their name and be like, do you know that you're smart? Do you know that you're handsome? Do you know that you are amazing? Do you know that you are kind? Just out of the blue, just say that to yourself. Just say that to your children. Even we will not always get everything right. We are not perfect. I know that I'm not perfect. I am a work in progress. I show some of my imperfections in some of my videos. Some videos I, think to take down, but this healing journey is not linear. This healing journey, you're not going to be perfect. It's not going to be, you're not going to always get it right, but it's up to you to put it towards the effort. It's up to you to do your best to change your mindset, to transmute that energy, change that negative to positive. It's up to you to practice mindfulness. It's up to you to give yourself and your children compassion and grace. You won't be able to do it every time, but do it the majority of the time is when it needs to be. Kids are not going to remember every time, but if the majority of the time they see that you are trying, the majority of the time they see that you are giving them grace and compassion, the majority of the time they see that you are leading by example with integrity, with love, with kindness. You are leading by example with apologizing when you are wrong. Like, if you get upset or you get angry or you get scared, because sometimes parents, when we get scared, something frightens us, say the child is doing something that scares us, will yell. And I've done that plenty of times. And you're not trying to yell at the kid, you're just yelling because you were afraid. Fear rose up within you, and so you yelled. And just saying, oh, I apologize for yelling to you, is a big deal. My mama never really apologized to us. She apologized after Hurricane Katrina, when we were in San Antonio in the first apartments on the northeast side that we lived in. She went through a transformation too, and she came to us. It was in the middle of the night. She came to us and she was crying, and me and my sister, and she told us, it was after my grandma died. And she was crying, and we never really saw my mama cry outside of church. You go to the altar and you cry, but she was crying, and she told us that she apologized for all the things that she did to hurt us or whatever. I can't remember exactly what she said because I was like a preteen, but she apologized to us, and like it was like a new fresh state for me. That Piscean in my sixth house, just like, oh, it's a brand new world. I already was. It was already a shift for me anyway during that time, because it was a traumatic event. Like I said, it was it was like that. None of that was real to me because I wasn't supposed to be there. But when my mama apologized, that hit home, and that was a big deal. And I was grateful for that because she never did it before. So it's a big deal when you can apologize to your children. It's a big deal when you can admit your wrongs. You're teaching them to admit their wrongs and to be accountable for their actions. Everything that we do is a teaching moment. Our children are watching, they are listening. And we make mistakes. I have made plenty of mistakes along the way, but it's about learning from them and doing better. It is about not beating yourself up and throwing yourself into a state of depression or getting anxious or things like that. It is about growing and learning and doing better and moving forward, not getting stuck in emotions and things like that. And that is a benefit of building your personal power and your identity. When those heavy emotions or negative emotions come into play, you reach back and you remember your personal power. You remember that you are strong, that you are competent, that you are capable. You tell yourself that, you affirm that to yourself in those moments when you need it most. Don't look to the voices of the people who are going to confirm when you're feeling low. You push those out of your head. You turn that volume down, you release that, you purge it out. You whatever you need to do to get rid of it, you get rid of it. Don't suppress it. Write it down, burn it, um, speak it and say, you are wrong, that is not correct, that is not me, I am strong. You correct it. You affirm yourself, say, that is not true, this is true about me. And then you say, I am strong, I am confident, I am capable, I am competent, I am triumphant, I am an overcomer, I am not a victim. Affirm yourself. Family, you have to alchemize that energy, you have to transmute that energy, you have to be mindful of your thoughts, you have to be mindful of your words, you have to be mindful of your actions. And then when you make a mistake, you don't beat up on yourself about it, because that's tearing yourself down. You acknowledge the mistake, you make the changes, and then you move forward. Affirm yourself and move forward. I'll do better next time. I will do better next time. I can do better next time. This is how I will do better next time. Okay, family. Now, personal power is both innate and learned. So some personal power is, it's innate, it's natural to us. We're born with that, like a baby. When they are born and they cry to communicate. That's a form of personal power. They are letting you know that they are uncomfortable, that their diaper needs to be changed, that they are hungry, that they are thirsty. That's a part of personal power. They are expressing their needs and their wants. And the learned behaviors is when they actually learn how to communicate with words, and when they learn how to communicate effectively after they learn how to communicate with words, because But some ways, we're going to get into the ways of how to rebuild your self-worth. Some ways to rebuild your self-worth is doing things that you know you can do successfully. So if you're at a low place like depression or anything like that, mental illness, and you just need to increase those feel-good hormones, you need to do some tasks that you know that you will be successful at, because it's going to release those feel-good or achievement hormones, that hormone dopamine. It's going to release that, and it's going to assist you, and it's going to make you want to do those things more, to receive that hormone more. It's just like those hormones are the hormones that are triggered with drugs and things. You want to have those things triggered with positive things. So you fixing your bed, being proud of yourself, you going through depression, that's a big deal. You waking up and fixing your bed, you bathing twice a day, brushing your teeth twice a day, you cleaning your dishes every night, you making sure that your house is clean and in order every night, you taking out the trash every night or every other night, depending on how full your trash is. It's just like with your kids. If you have your children and you want to reward yourself for these things, so do things that you know you're going to be successful at, and then reward yourself. That's the next one. Learn to celebrate all of your accomplishments, big or small. So you want to celebrate these wins. You want to pat yourself on the back. You want to give yourself a hug. You want to say, I'm proud of you. You're doing amazing. You have come so far. Things like that you want to tell yourself. Buy yourself something. You don't have to buy yourself something every time, because then you just affirm yourself. Affirm yourself. Let yourself know that you are amazing, that you did a great job, that you are doing a great job. And then you want to visualize yourself as confident, as a confident and self-assured person, and that is going to inspire you to be better and do better. You want to respect your feelings and be sure to notice your strengths just as much as your weaknesses. So you want to make sure that you are you're paying just as much attention to your strengths as your weaknesses. During a healing process, you can try to pinpoint and point out all of your critique, everything that is wrong with you. And that is, you're doing that because you want to make changes, but you also need to pinpoint the things that are right with you, the things that you get right, the things that you are improving on, because it makes you want to keep going. If you keep just focusing on the things that are not happening, you keep focusing your energy on the things that are bad, the things that are negative, you're going to be creating more of those things. You don't want to do that. You want to pour your energy into the things that are working. You want to pour your energy into the things that are becoming better. You want to affirm yourself that you're going to do better when things do not go as planned, and just do better. It's going to get better. If you believe it to get better, if you put the energy into it getting better, it will get better. It will grow. It will evolve. Okay. In some ways to build your personal identity, give yourself time to grieve. Excuse me. That is the first thing that you need to do, family. Give yourself time to grieve. Because when you are healing, when you are growing, a part of you dies. Just like a part of you died with the trauma, a part of you, the part of you that, the parts of you that were unhealed is dying. That those parts are leaving. They have to be purged out. They have to go. You have to give yourself time to grieve, because those parts are also going to try to fight. Because there's a battle when people say me against me. That's a real thing. You have to purge those things out, and don't look at it as just lowly and below you and this, that, and that, because then those parts are going to fight even harder. You have to respect respect your shadow self, and I'm working on a book for shadow work, but you have to respect your shadow. Your shadow was formed to aid you, and it came in and took a lot of the stuff that your inner child couldn't take. Your inner child, a lot of times, it separated, it disassociated when it was being traumatized. And your shadow came out and took the brunt of a lot of the abuse that was going on. So for you to be like, I'm going to get rid of that shadow and F the shadow and this, that, and that. The shadow is this, that, and that. Then the shadow is going to turn on you, and that's when it becomes you against you. And that's when it's definitely a problem. 22 on the clock, family. It's definitely a problem, because you don't want to battle yourself. You want to grieve, you want to heal, and you want to integrate. Because honestly, you can never truly get rid of your shadow. It is there to stay. You just have to come to a terms. You have to heal the shadow, because it was trauma. That's the traumatized part of you. That is the part of your inner child that was hurt. That is the part of your inner child that received the abuse. That was the part of your inner child that didn't get the love, that didn't get the affection, that didn't get the understanding, the compassion, the grace. So you are now giving it the grace. You are giving it the compassion. You are giving it these things. And it's going to heal, and it is going to learn to forgive. That's a part of self-forgiveness. You learn to forgive yourself, and that'll be the last chapter of the book. But you learn to forgive yourself. You learn to forgive your inner child will learn to forgive you. You're one and the same. But that's what comes with integrating. You learn to forgive yourself. You learn to forgive others, and you learn to forgive yourself for not being able to protect yourself, not being able to process those things, and for not knowing. You learn to forgive yourself for those things, and we're going to get to that at the end. But right now, this is ways to rebuild your personal identity. Another way is be compassionate and encouraging to yourself when you make mistakes. We went over that. Take responsibility for your behavior. So your behavior after the fact, the things that you did after the fact, though they were results of the trauma, but you still took part. You still, that was your behavior. Those were your actions. So take responsibility for it. Don't beat up on yourself for it. But yes, you did these things, and it was a result of the traumatic events that you went through. And now you can make amends. You can apologize to people, whatever you want to do. Forgive yourself, forgive others. But take responsibility for your behavior towards yourself and others. You want to follow through with commitments, use positive affirmations consistently, and accept praise from others. Because a lot of times we don't like to accept praise from other people, or good compliments and things from other people, because you don't feel worthy, because your identity, you know, you don't identify yourself as being worthy, or your personal your self-worth and your self-esteem are low. That's why you rebuild these things. You affirm yourself, you encourage yourself, you get an understanding, give yourself grace and compassion, and then you'll be able to accept praise from others and yourself. um and then there's some steps for you to cultivate your strengths and passions, which lead to your empowerment. That's also in the book. Use positive self-talk, surround yourself with positive and supportive people, outline goals and boundaries, and enforce them when necessary. So I just read 3 of those, but there's multiple in the book. And then, because this is getting longer than I wanted it to be, but also for reconnecting with your inner child. So your inner child is your original or true self before the trauma. It is the forgiving and free-spirited part of you that still experiences life as a child. Reconnecting with your inner child plays a major part in childhood trauma healing, in the childhood trauma healing process. When you reconnect with the metaphysical part of you that was frozen in childhood, you can gain a better sense of self-awareness. This connection enables you to relate your behaviors to past traumas for further review. A powerful way to support your emotional and psychological well-being is inner childhood healing. The best way to heal this connection is through playfulness, creativity, and self-expression. So to reconnect with your inner child, that's why I say a lot of time our children are brought to, are placed in our lives to assist us along this journey, to trigger us and to bring things up, because they are a reflection of us, and they a lot of times they are the way that we were when we were children. A lot of times, not all the times, because sometimes they take on the traits of the other parent. But just seeing them and experiencing life through their eyes can bring back memories of your childhood, and it can help you to reconnect with your inner child. It can help you with the healing process of reconnecting with your inner child. The games that you play with them, the things that you teach them can bring you back to places and remind you, like, when you with the child and they ask you questions, or you're doing something with them, and then you tell them a story about when you were a child, or they ask you, Eli has been asking me that a lot lately. So what was your favorite thing to do when you were a child, and what did you do, and how was and he's been asking a lot about my mom too. And he would just ask different things about my childhood. So I'm, telling him about things about my childhood. And that helps you to reconnect with your inner child as well. Playing games with your child and playing games like jump rope, jacks, pity pat. If you're from New Orleans, pity pat. Spades is nationwide, I believe. Spades. I think they play something called Tonk out here in Florida. Different games. Goldfish, that's nationwide. Monopoly, Sorry. All those different games. Twister. All those different games can help you to reconnect with your inner child and just bring that playfulness out, that creativity, reignite your imagination, get you out of the stale adult mindset of this is what I gotta do, bills, this, that, and that, and get you back into creativity and remind you of what you actually came here to do, what your purpose is, how you want to live your life, the things that you forgot about when you were, as you grew up and transitioned with all these life experiences. It can remind you of who you really want to be and what you really wanted to do as a child, or it can bring some clarity, because you may be doing what you said you wanted to do as a child because people told you that's what you were supposed to do. And it might remind you of something else. You want to do something different. You want to make a shift. You want to make a change. So reconnecting with your inner child is extremely important because it heals that bind. It reignites, like I said, your creativity, reignites your passion, your your imagination, and you can be the best you that you can be. Your inner child is going to help you to reach your goals. It's going to help you to see things from different perspectives. Your inner child is the best thing that you have to become your highest self, to the integration of your inner child, the integration of who you are presently and your highest self is going to help you to reach your highest self. It's going to help you to accomplish your goals. It's going to help you to be the best you that you can be. But you have to reconnect. You have to heal that bind. You have to love on the whole you, all of you. Once you love all of you and you integrate and become whole again, you know that you are all that you need. You know that all the answers are within you, that you are creating your reality as within, so without. Once you do that, then you can do anything, family. That's why childhood trauma healing is so important for yourself and for your children. Your children may be young. Everybody has some kind of trauma. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't benefit anybody to compare your traumas with somebody else. Everybody has trauma. Okay? So just focus on healing your trauma and healing your children's trauma. And the world would be a much better place if we all looked at the Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson songs playing in my head, Make It a Better Place, and The Man in the Mirror. Those are some songs that you may want to listen to. There's good messages in those songs. But you have to first start with yourself, and then your light will shine, your aura will shine, and people will be drawn to you, and you will create things that can help other people in their time of darkness. We are all lights, and we can help shine our lights to help people and assist them on their way out of their darkness, on their path, on their journey. And you reconnecting with your inner child, you rebuilding your personal power and your identity, all of that is mixed together. It comes together for you to be your total and complete highest self, for you to realize that you are whole, and for you to, reach your highest potential, and to find your purpose and to do what you came here to do. That is, the goal in life. That is the goal for me, and whoever's watching this video who feels the same. If that's not your goal, if you just came here to do whatever, to just, wild out, then hey, that's what you came here to do in this lifetime. But for this lifetime, for me, my goal in life is to heal, to build generational wealth, to build, to heal my bloodline, and to make sure that the people that come after me, the souls that come after me, 333 on the clock, the souls that come after me are going to have a solid foundation. I am earth, so they're going to have a solid foundation. And I'm a Virgo, so we rule the intestines. So we get rid of the gunk. We do the dirty work most of the times in the bloodline, in the family. And we are alchemists. We transmute energy. So we have to, 33 on the clock, family. We have to, if you don't know what I'm saying when I say these numbers, it's angel numbers. There's messages. You can Google it to see what those numbers mean. But it's imperative for me, and for whoever else feels the same. For some people, it's not important. They don't care. They feel like, if I went through it, they got to go through it too. If I got beat, my kids got to get beat too. If if it's good enough for me, it's good enough for them. I don't feel that way. It's not. It wasn't good enough for me then, and it's not good enough for my children coming after me. I want better for them. My mama planted a seed in me. Don't be like me, be better. I already had that seed as a Virgo. But for her to say those words, it was a confirmation. She tried her best. She did her best. I know that she did. I could see that she did. It was a struggle for her. I'm trying my best. I'm doing my best. Hopefully my child can see that I do. He tells me, I'm proud of you. He tells me, thank you for taking care of us. Thank you for, He tells me these things, and I teach him, gratitude. I teach him. Um, he's helping out more because I was doing everything for him before. I was one of those parents that overcompensated because he didn't have the other parent. I was definitely a coddler, codependency. It was all of that, and a lot of those things stem from me not wanting to do him the way that I was done, for me not wanting him to experience what I experienced. And because I didn't know how to parent him, I didn't have the tools that I have now on how to parent him better ways of discipline and stuff like that. I would let him get away with murder when he was younger. He would do whatever because I didn't want to beat him. He got in time out a lot. He still gets in time out now. But it's just I didn't want to beat him. Has he gotten spanked before? Yes, he has. Because, like I said, I'm not perfect. No parent is perfect. But he definitely had not gotten it the way that we got it. He used to get belts, extension cords, cooking spoons. I remember we got home with a cooking spoon. Mama was cooking, and I don't know what we did with a cooking spoon. My grandma used to use wet towels, wet jeans, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I've heard people get worse than that. But family, you have to do better. You have to do better. Because I don't care what you say, I don't care what you think, it's gonna come back to you. Karma is real. And we are in the age of Aquarius. Aquarius ruling planet is Saturn. Saturn does not play. Saturn is about discipline. Saturn is about you learning. Saturn is not just going to give you things. Saturn is about, you learning those lessons. So, and karma. So do right by your kids. Even if you're crying and it is a struggle every day, the more you do it, the more it becomes a habit, the more it becomes routine, the less you will be, your original programming of abuse, will come out. You just have to be consistent and committed to your growth, to your personal growth, to your personal healing, and the healing of your bloodline and your children. You have to stay committed and consistent to that, and it will get better, family. You will get rewarded. I'm here to tell you. The blessings come when you do the work, when you are consistent, when you are committed, when you do it with a pure heart, when you clean out your heart, align your chakras, when you do the work, family. Doors will be open to you. Your inheritance, the land of milk and honey, streets paved with gold, all of that is coming. It is gonna come to you if you do the work. The camera fell. Okay, my bad, family. But all of that is gonna come to you when you do the work, family. When you do the work, it's all gonna come to you. My bad, y'all. Okay, that's better. But it will all come to you when you do the work. I think that is the end of this video. Source is saying that's enough. We're going to end it on that. But that is the end of this video. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank y'all. The next things that we will talk about in the next, we did reconnecting. So the last video series is going to be about forgiveness and moving forward. So, family, last series is going to be about forgiveness and moving forward. I'm not going to make this video longer than I already has. I could just, no, I'm going to do a whole video on forgiveness and moving forward and the importance of it and all that good stuff. So that'll be the next video and the last of this series. So y'all have a great day. Be blessed. I love y'all. Continue to protect yourself, respect yourself, and pour and affirm yourself. Pour love into yourself and affirm yourself. Ashe, have a great day, family. Peace.